Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Mafex Poison Ivy from Batman Hush. I think I've reviewed all of their Hush figures now, except for Hush, and I don't plan to get him. But this will be the last one I think I'm doing for that batch. Maybe Superman at some point. Should I do Superman? Question of the day. Should I do Superman? Anyway, this is Poison Ivy. It's a fan favorite. A lot of you guys have asked me to review it, so I put a call in and I got a review sample from Big Bad Toy Store. Thanks to them for that. I'm going to review it honestly, though, and I think anybody who's seen my reviews knows that that is always the case, and that's going to be the case here. There's a lot to like about this figure. Some stuff, not so much, but I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. You can get over to Big Bad Toy Store and do that. Okay, let's go ahead and get this figure off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, before we get into the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is the muted Hush package, which I happen to personally like. I like that it's very simple, simplistic, but also a nice big window for the figure. Pretty good. Figure is centered with the accessories on the side. I probably would have adjusted it so that it was inside this nook right here, but hey, personal preference. Some photos throughout. Looks pretty good. I think that's fine. Nothing stands out here. They have her fully adorned with her weeds. And then, hey, there's the Superman. Should I review that? It's probably a pretty good Superman. I just don't care about Superman. Decent poses throughout. Okay, now before we get into the figure, I want to get into the package a little bit more, just to show you this artwork in here. Hey, come on now. This artwork in here. Can you see that? If I zoom, not zoom. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. You can see right there, she's usually drawn fairly busty, fairly voluptuous, and the figure is not that. So that's going to be a downside for the figure. I'm just going to get that out of the way. It's not me being a prevert, it's just me letting you know it's not quite accurate to the source material, because it is kind of like part of the character, like Poison Ivy. Even the Uma Thurman Poison Ivy was wanting to kiss people and do things like that. So having her not have some of those key features might be a problem for some people. It's an essential part of the review. Okay, this figure stands roughly, let's just say 6 inches to the top of her head. Probably that's a little generous, but there's a little bit more of hair on top of that even, so that's good enough, roughly. We'll say 15 centimeters, give or take. Here she is up against Marvel Legends Darwin and a DC McFarlane Multi-Toys vs. Batman. Out of scale, and then obviously a very out of scale Marvel Select. Good enough. Okay, but also I want to show you, I don't have my Hush Batman handy, but I do have Harley Quinn here, because I just reviewed her the other day. There you go. Harley Quinn is taller than Ivy, kind of significantly. I don't know if that's accurate or not. You guys can let me know. Okay, so the good and the bad on this figure. Good things. The finish. It's a nice matte finish. It's very nice. It's not flat, it's matte. It's got a little bit of that smoothness to it that you don't get from the chalkiness of the flat finish, and I like that. I wish the leaves that were on her had more of a satin finish, but they don't. So it's all kind of one note. It's okay. There's no shading anywhere, so it looks kind of cheap. The paint job at the feet isn't great. So I don't know. I will say this though. The faces are really well done. Really nice. Love that paint job, just like Harley Quinn. It looks great. And then the hair is also shaded very well. It's a good sculpt. Very, very, very nicely done. The body, though, like I said, it is lacking a little bit in the sculpt, let's say. In the sculpt department, she's got relatively small chesticles compared to her artwork. And then otherwise, it's fairly basic. So I would say it's fine. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for the aesthetic. It's not like you're going to look at it and be like, ew, that's a bad figure, but you're not going to look at it and be like, oh, that's a nice one. Because it's just fine. What's there is well done, but there's not a whole lot there. Okay, now as far as accessories go, this figure does kind of shine. She has an alternate head with extra hair and a little bit of a smirk to her face. That's pretty good. We have a few different sets of hands, you know, probably everything you need. I am confused about this set of hands. Now on the box, it shows her using this hand to hold the suitcase, or the briefcase. What's it called? Briefcase. So that I get, but what is this one? Why does she have her ring finger sticking out? That's weird. Is that a scene from the comic that I don't know? Both of these hands are kind of strange for what they're given for, but whatever. Okay, so we get some hands. We get an extra hand for holding some money, a stack of cash. That's a pretty good accessory. I like that. You get the open and closed briefcase. That's pretty cool. And then lastly, you get a bunch of weeds. I'm probably going to bother a Poison Ivy fan by calling them that. Some vines, some ivy vines that wrap around her body, or you could put them on other people if you wanted to also. And you also get a display stand, as usual, for Mafex. Okay, so that's not a bad spread. I think I'll take it. I can't think of much else you would need for her other than like a plant or something, but that's not essential. Pretty good. 9 out of 10. Yeah, I'm going to say 9 out of 10. I don't think you need much more. All right, let's see if she can pose well. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, she's not the most dynamic poser. She'll be fine, but, well, whatever. Ball peg for the head, so that works well. Same thing for the neck. The hair gets in the way, so you're going to be somewhat limited by that. But otherwise, she'll be okay. Nothing crazy. She's not Spider-Man, and the hair is thick plastic, thick, stiff plastic for the most part. So, somewhat limited there. For the shoulders, she doesn't have the extra crazy range of somebody like Nightwing, but, it's okay. It's good enough. Like I said, she's not bad. She's just fine. Which might not be good enough for the price point. I don't know. Other than if you're trying to like fill out the whole roster from the Mafex Hush line, then I don't know. That you probably don't care that much about the review anyway. But I'm going to give it to you. That's what she said. Okay, so yeah, everything works all right. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbows. Not the best range in the world, but they don't look bad, so it's okay. Wrists on ball hinges. They're relatively small and the hands come off relatively easily. That's standard for Mafex, so it's fine. Torso joint, some ball pegs in there. Doesn't lean back very far. Doesn't lean forward very far. Doesn't lean side to side very far, and almost no rotation. It's not ideal to put the cut right at the boobages. It's better to do it down by the rib cage. I get why people do that and think it's good, but it limits the posability and the range. You're better off getting the cut down here where it starts to taper more, and it gives you better, it's easier to get better range and make it look good. So yeah, that's pretty limited. Down here at the waist, leans back nicely down there. Forward too, and then, wow, okay, so you get all your range in the torso basically out of the waist, and this is just for adjustments. I would much rather see that lower and have more range, and then you could still keep this. It would look more natural when posing, and it would function better, but that's passable. Taking the legs out to the side, not the best range we've seen. Bane has better range than this, so that kind of sucks. Bring the leg forward with the drop down. She can kick pretty high. It is a soft crotch piece. Gets gappy, so be mindful of that, but she can kick high. As far as drop downs go, there's your thigh swivel. Mafex does a good job with them, so I don't like them. I would still rather see different articulation, but theirs are fine. They're okay. Double jointed knee for her works pretty well. Proportioning is reasonable, so that's fine. Ankles pop off way too easily, but you get decent enough range. I guess it's not particularly good. It's okay. Ankle rocker will work nicely. And then your toe hinge is okay. It's not a very good one, but it is there. So if you really want one, it's there. Her feet are not well sculpted. I have to say they're round on the bottom almost. And so it's a little bit tricky to pose her, and it looks a little bit weird. Her slippers are funny looking. Okay, so her articulation, like I said, it is there. What's there is not bad, but it is also not especially good. It is just there. So I'll give her a 7. For Mafex, it's fine, but nothing special. And now it's time for the final verdict. I think I've been pretty consistent throughout this in saying that what's there is good, but there's not a lot there. And some of the good isn't especially good, it's just okay. There's nothing that's super bad other than her feet look weird. Yeah, it's fine. So for this price point, I think if you weren't all in on the Hush line, for instance, the Hush series, and if you didn't have a particular thing for Poison Ivy, I don't think this is one you should really start with. It's not a good representation of how good this line can be. It's not a representation of how bad it's been either. So I'm going to give this an overall rating of 7. For Mafex, it's fine. I think if you're buying this figure and you get it in hand, you're going to be like, well, yeah, okay. I'm not upset, but I'm not thrilled. And that's the way I feel about it too. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.